Yeah.
You kind of mentioned like ADHD a little bit. Is that something that you noticed like early on in your life, and that like art was helping with that?
No, actually, I should have noticed early on. My therapist diagnosed me, I guess, maybe like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it was so nice. Like, it was like, oh my God, that's my brain, right? It's not like, oh, I'm not mental. It's like, oh, I have a person explaining to me like how my brain works. And it just like felt so reassuring. But it for sure helped me in my career, like, because I paint multiple paintings at a time because my brain's just hopping around. I get bored of this one, I'll go to another one. And obviously, like, the high energy helps, and like being like social and all those aspects of it, like, really helped my business grow to what it is now. Like, I don't think I could have been as successful without my ADHD, to be honest.
That's cool.
Because it just, yeah, it helps my workflow. It helped all that. Now that I'm getting older, I'm learning like it gets worse as you get older. It's getting a little bit harder to manage. I'm like in the middle of kind of trying to find the right medication to kind of figure it out a little bit. But it for sure, that's where my brain quiets, right? Like, it's the ADHD never silences unless I'm painting. So it's just like maybe I naturally went towards it without even like acknowledging that that's kind of what was happening, I guess. Just finding the peace in that, like, oh wow, that peaceful, quiet state that I literally never have any other time of the day.
Yeah. Something that if I ever have, because I see they'll come to me with digestion, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I also have ADHD, and can you help me with that? And one of the first questions I ask them is it really just a problem with keeping attention, or you don't have you're not able to concentrate on the things that you enjoy enough throughout the day? And that normally sparks a bulb, and they go, well, actually, yeah, because there are times when I can concentrate, what people may define as classical concentration, but where I can get into something for hours, and I lose my, and that's not scattered to me. And that is one of the first things I ask, and sometimes parents ask me about their kids too. And I think that's something that, people have to realize, is that, you can harness it like you have, and it's not just necessarily, you're not just beholden to your brain and a victim of your genetics and circumstances. It's like, you can harness this and channel it, and it can become a superpower.
And that's what my therapist said. She's like, wow, you found the perfect job for, right? Like, it would be very hard for me to have a 9 to 5, like working for someone else, being like that type of stuff. I can do all my things in my own way, right? And it's like very, like, obviously helped me excel in that department. And she's always like, oh, you're so lucky that this worked out for you in this department. And it's, again, stuff I never really acknowledged until like now, looking back into it. But I wouldn't change it for sure.